I knew Halima was dead before anyone told me. I knew because I saw her that morning, standing by the school gate, even though her body had been found in the river the night before. She was barefoot, her uniform was soaked, her braids dripping water onto the dusty ground, and she was staring straight at me. They say the river behind our school is cursed. The elders warn us not to go near it after dark. They say the water is hungry, that it remembers the lives it has taken. Most of us don't listen, not until it's too late. Halima was the newest student in our school. She transferred from the city, and just like that, she became the center of attention. She wasn't like the rest of us. She was confident and bold. She laughed at the village boys who tried to impress her and rolled her eyes at the girls who gossiped behind her back. And then there was the river. Halima didn't believe in curses. That's what got her killed. It started as a game. One afternoon, during lunch, a group of students gathered under the big mango tree. Halima was there, eating alone as usual. Aisha, the loudest girl in school, smirked. Halima, have you heard about the river? Halima didn't even look up. What about it? They say it's haunted, Aisha said. That spirits live in the water, waiting to drag people under. Halima laughed. Do you believe that nonsense? Aisha shrugged. I don't, but do you? Halima met her gaze. No. Then prove it. The group fell silent. The challenge hung in the air. Go to the river tonight, Aisha said. Touch the water. Stay for 5 minutes. If you come back, we will know the stories are fake. I don't know why I spoke. Maybe it was the fear in my chest. Maybe it was something else. Don't do it, I whispered. Halima turned to me, her dark eyes amused. Are you scared? I nodded. Yes. She just smiled. I'll do it, she said. That night, I couldn't sleep. The hair was heavy, thick with something I couldn't name. My grandmother always said you could feel when something bad was about to happen, and I felt it. The next morning, Halima was missing. The village searched all day. The men walked along the riverbank calling her name. The women prayed. By evening, they found her face down, floating in the river. Her skin was cold. Her lips were slightly parted, like she had been whispering something before she died. They buried her that same day. The elder said it was bad luck to keep her body overnight, but it didn't matter because Halima never left. The morning after her burial, I saw her. I was walking to school, my bag heavy on my back, my mind full of thoughts I didn't want to think. Then I saw the figure by the gate, Halima. She stood perfectly still, her bare feet pressing into the dry earth. Her uniform clung to her, wet and stained. Her braids dripped water onto the ground, and she was looking at me. I stopped breathing, then she smiled, a slow, airy smile, the kind that didn't reach her eyes. I blinked, she was gone, but the ground where she had stood was still wet. I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? But that night, I woke up to whispering, soft, low, coming from outside my window. Amara, my name. The voice was familiar. I pulled the blanket over my head, forcing my eyes shut. I prayed. I begged. The whispering didn't stop. Amara, why didn't you stop me? Tears burned my eyes. My hands shook. Come to the river, Amara. I bit my lips so hard I tasted blood. Then, just as suddenly as it started, silence. But I knew it wasn't over. The next day at school, Aisha didn't show up. At first, we thought she was sick, but by noon, whispers spread through the school like wildfire. She had gone to the river alone. I ran. I didn't remember leaving the school. I don't remember pushing past the people gathered by the riverbank, but I remember what I saw. Aisha stood at the edge of the water, her body stiff, her eyes wide and empty, and Halima was there, standing behind her, whispering into her ear. I screamed. Aisha turned slowly, her face pale. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Then she stepped forward, one step, two. The water reached her knees. I ran. I grabbed her arms, pulled with everything I had. She fought me. Her eyes weren't ours anymore. They were Halima's, dark, hollow, hungry. I don't know how, but I dragged her back, away from the river, away from Halima. The second we hit the ground, Aisha gasped. Her body shuddered, her eyes cleared. Halima was gone, but the water rippled, like something had just slipped beneath the surface, waiting. Aisha never spoke about that night. She refused to say what she had heard, what she had seen. She left school a week later. Her family moved to another village, and me, I stay here, Halima, sometimes at night, sometimes in the wind, sometimes in my dreams. She still calls my name, still waits by the river, still whispers, Why didn't you stop me? And I know one day I will answer because the river never forgets and the dead never let go.